So let's see what I can get done during lunch. Suppose Allie has 53 coins in a bag composed of only quarters and dimes, totaling $10.85. How many dimes does Allie have in the bag? Like a super easy problem. All right, so we have 53 coins. That means that the number of quarters plus the number of dimes must equal 53. And let's see here, a quarter is worth 25 pennies, and I'm going to use, well, I guess I'll do it this way. 0.25Q, a dime is worth 10 pennies, so 0.10 or 0.1. 0.1D, the number of quarters times 25 cents, plus the number of dimes times 10 cents is 10.85. I'm not even going to bother doing this by hand. I don't feel like it. Let's see here, we're going to go to second matrix, edit. A 2 by 3 will work. 1, 1, 53. 0.25, 0.1, 10.85. And we're going to just go quit. Been a while since I've done this. Second matrix math. Scroll on down to double REF, which is 2 below, good old cum sum right there. Second matrix A, press the enter key, and there we go. 37 quarters, 1 dime. Or sorry, I said that wrong. 37 quarters, and the dime was what, 16? Yeah, 16. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. This one's a little rough. None of you have been able to do this on bonuses. None of you, at least by hand. You could use a TI-84 on this problem, but let's show you how to do it by hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ln both sides. I have the ln of 3 to the x minus 2 equal the ln of 7 to the x plus 6. And I'm going to use the property of logarithms that says that I can move exponents out front. Now, most of the kids that have been trying these problems are not wrapping. That needs to be wrapped now. Okay, looks like that. Nothing too hard now. Use the distributive property. X times the natural log of 3 is literally x ln 3. Negative 2 times the natural log of 3 is negative 2 ln of 3. And that equals x ln's of 7 plus 6 ln's of 7. X's on one side, numbers on the other. So I'm moving my x's left. So x natural log of 3 minus x ln 7 is equal to 6 natural logs of 7 plus 2 natural logs of 3. And your favorite F word is always factoring. Both these pieces contain an x. It can be pulled. And the opposite of multiplication shall be division. So I divide both sides by the natural log of 3 minus the natural log of 7. So I'm looking for that answer. It's that guy right there. They've got the order a little bit different than I have it written, but it's the same thing. Now, it's not a big deal that you were able to do that on this particular question because you have y equals at your disposal. 3 rooftopped to the x minus 2. A lot of kids don't understand when they can use y equals and when they can't. If there's an equal to symbol, you can go to y1 and y2. Like it really is that easy. Zoom 6 like you're supposed to. You might have to look for the intersection. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. It actually happened way over here. Let's see if we have to play with the window any. We might have to look left. Second trace 5. Let's see here. Enter, enter, enter. It's going to tell me error, no sign change, which means I had to play with my window. So I'm going to go left, I don't know, 100 units. Second trace 5 again. And wait. Sometimes I feel like by hand is faster just because I'm impatient, and at least when I'm doing it, progress is being made. When I have to wait on something, I get impatient. Enter, enter, enter. There it is, negative 16.373. Okay, so let's see what the answer choice is. And I'll just do this, and I really don't want to waste the time with math num n over d, so I've got 2 natural logs of 3 plus 6 natural logs. If you understand parentheses, the use of parentheses is faster than pushing buttons because there's less buttons to push. There it is, negative 16.373. That wasn't too bad. Moving on to 30, what is this divided by that? And again, this is not in TN-Algebra 2 standards. It's not. It hasn't been for a long time. Just not in your standards. But it's a 4th grade math lesson. It really, really is. And to divide by a fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal. And of course, now this question also lends itself to factoring. So anyways, I'm going to do a whole bunch of things at once here because I feel like it. X squared plus 3x minus 18 factors as x plus 6 times x minus 3. X squared minus 5x plus 6 factors as x minus 2 times x minus 3. And we're going to change division to multiplication, so I have to factor this thing. And I don't really like its order, but it is what it is. Oh, I hate it when they're negatives. That's negative x squared plus x plus 2. It's going to take an x and a negative x to create a negative x squared, and factors of 2 are going to be 1 and 2, and this would be it, because the inside would make negative x and the outside would make plus 2x, and that would yield that guy right there. Now that is being flipped, so it's going to become x plus 1 in the numerator and negative x minus 2, or 2 minus x, which I think is prettier, so I'm going to write it. And I have to factor that guy, and that guy factors as x plus 1 times x plus 6. Now, if a factor exists in the numerator and denominator and is a factor, I can throw it out the window. Gone, 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 gone. So what I'm left with is I'm left with 2 minus x over x minus 2. Now 2 minus x, if you pull a negative, becomes negative times x minus 2, and it's over x minus 2, and gone. And I am the understood one that existed in the first place. There's the answer. Who would have thought? All right, so, now the question is, okay, Milbrath, I'm lazy. How do I cheat? Guess how you cheat? You look at a graph. You just look at a graph. That's what you do. All right, what do we got here? I will do this one with math num n over d just because it'll look better. We have x squared plus 3x minus 18, and she is sitting pretty over x to the second minus 5x plus a 6. And then we're going to be divided by, so I'm just going to hit divided by math num n over d. X to the second plus a 7x plus a 6. And then we have 2 plus x minus x squared. And I'm going to zoom 6. And look what that thing reduced down to. I hope you see that. That is literally, okay, I still have something in y2, don't I? Yeah, I do. Well, that just kind of ruined it. Let's get rid of that. So I can look for what's called graphical equivalency. So the answer is -1. And look what happens to these two graphs. They will completely 100% cover each other up. That's what they will do. It's going to take the calculator a minute to do, but it's going to happen. So there you go. Graphical equivalency. 31, which is the next one, is something I don't think anybody I pick is going to have a problem with. And you just distribute the exponent. Even the 4 gets it. 4 to the negative third, x to the negative ninth, y to the negative sixth, z negative 6, z to the negative 27th. The issue is you kids will want to do everything in your head because you think you're autistic. X to the negative 15th, z to the negative 33rd. And then, of course, we flip things around. If an exponent's negative, it's on the wrong spot of the divisor. So 4 cubed, 3 cubed. This would be x to the 15th over x to the 9th. Z to the 33rd over z to the 27th. You see, we have 27 over 64. So no. I don't know what choice E is. We'll see. We have x to the 15th over x to the 9th. That's going to be x to the 6th in the numerator. And we have z to the 33rd over z to the 27th. That is also going to be z to the 6th in the numerator. And there was a y, wasn't there? Oh, I forgot about y. What happened to you, y? You're supposed to be down here. And so y to the 6th down low. Looks to me, it must have been that choice down there, because that's the only one that looks right. So there you go. It's really not that bad. It's really not. 32, 6 less than a number is at most the same number divided by 2. What is the largest possible value of the number? Oh, kids love these things. 6 less than a number. Let's just call that number x. And 6 less than that would be to take away 6. Is at most the same number divided by 2. All right, is at most the same number divided by 2. So the number is divided by 2. And it is at most less than or equal to. It is a less than or equal to situation. So we're going to double both sides to clear the fraction. Make sure that you invoke the distributive property. 2x minus 12 is less than or equal to x. X is less than or equal to 12. Easy peasy. And I guess you could go through and you could do the numbers. You could say, okay, 10 minus 6 is 4. All right. And if I took 10 and divided it by 2, I'd get 5. It does satisfy the idea that it's at most. It does. But yeah, that doesn't work. 33, which values for x satisfy the equation? 4 to the x minus 2 plus 5 to the x minus 1 plus 1 is 0. Believe it or not, this thing probably likely factors. But what we're going to do is we're going to use our knowledge of exponents to write it like this. And then I'm going to do something kind of funky. I'm going to clear the fraction by multiplying everything by x squared. That makes it 4 plus 5x plus x squared equals 0. Now it doesn't have fractions. Also, very important is that now it factors, because I can change the order to make it more apparent. Takes an x and an x to create x squared. It takes a 1 and a 4 to create 4, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So x is negative 1 or x is negative 4. Like, that's how hard it was. And the truth is, it was actually even easier than that, because what could you have done? You could have gone to y equals. There isn't much you can't do in y equals. That's why I think the author of the test puts questions that are not in the math standards in the test, because they're looking for that rare kid who has, done more than they're supposed to do, who has enriched them own selves, or maybe they go to a private school that actually doesn't follow the state standards. They get to do their own thing, because they're allowed to go. It's Tennessee Math Teachers Association. They're allowed to go to these things. And those teachers may have stuck with more old school stuff. But anyways, you can do your second trace 5. I wonder what it's like to teach at a private school. Enter, enter, enter. And there's a value, second trace 5. And this next one should be -4. Enter, enter, enter. And there you go. That got me through 33, and now I've got to stop for 6 periods. So almost done with this thing. I'll probably finish it in the morning.